Show. Lynn Venhaus on the line now. Lynn, it's been a while. How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm so excited for your happy spring. You're having a good spring.
We're more than ready for it, you know, and it's just we're almost a month away from all the fun, and like Jackie and I keep telling everybody, we're a month and a week away from a pretty good vacation, you know.
Yes. Well, it's the first day of spring. And before I talk about the Oscars, I wanted to say that, we're on to new movies now, and everybody needs to see Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling.
What's this one about?
This one is a science teacher who is recruited to help save the planet. And he is reluctant to go because it's basically a suicide mission. But he has help. He discovers this alien. He's not alone. And so they help each other collaborate on saving the sun. Yeah.
Well, and I see that you gave it a 95, an A- on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
We have I pulled up the review online while you were talking about it.
So that's a good start because, first day of spring, I always have a spring in my step. And because, it's me, it involves always good new movies. And are you a Peaky Blinders fan?
I've never seen it.
Well, I was late to the party, but I adore Cillian Murphy. And oh my God, is this good? And Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, is the film that finishes the Shelby family saga, and it is now on Netflix streaming today. So I did a deep dive into it, and it's mesmerizing.
Well, and see, that's where I'm going to have to really start getting back into is fine, because it's always hard for me, Lynn, to just because when people love a certain film or a certain franchise or you name it, it's hard for me to just jump into it because I expect so much, and then I set way too high of an expectation. But I got to try that one out.
Oh, yeah, I think you really like it. It's really good storytelling. It's explosive action. It is iconic characters. And that the director said, if you haven't seen the 6 seasons, because it's 36 episodes, watch the first one, the 6th episode of season 2, and then the last one, and then that'll prepare you for the film. But I just did Netflix has a bunch of tutorials like that get you up to speed, and the cast, especially Cillian Murphy, has been on kind of explaining everything. So it is okay to watch it without knowing too much, but it'll be deeper if you do. And then you can go back and do a deep dive. But yeah, whenever I haven't seen a series of like so many shows, I'm reluctant to start because it's like, well, that's 8 seasons. What am I going to do?
Well, and that's kind of how I was with the only reason I jumped into Paradise was because I was only a season behind, and
isn't it wonderful?
Well, I watched season 2, the first episode first, and then went back and watched the first season because I hadn't seen it yet, and I loved that I did that because, man, that second season is something different.
Oh, yeah. I love the above ground. I call it upstairs. The upstairs. But the first season to me was like Lost.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of Lost. So I love the twisty turns and then the acting. And then those evil women. Oh,
they're ruthless. I mean, they are about as stone cold as you can imagine it, And it's kind of,
that's a good way to say it. Stone cold.
It's kind of been that way, though, when I see a lot of these movies. Once you get a really good, female antagonist going, I mean, they really, some of these actresses really portray that mold well,
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a new face for women. I'm really tired of these these limited series. They don't call them mini series anymore. They call them limited series, where it's like 8 episodes and it's rich women and it's first world problems and they live these glamorous lives, but there's secrets and betrayal.
Oh yeah. How many times have we pulled that one out of the filing cabinet,
I know. It's like, let's just go back to this and so if it's something different, it just really grabs you. Well, the people behind Paradise are the ones that did This Is Us.
Oh,
that
okay.
Yeah. And so they're very talented, I think. So that's what I look for. Good storytelling should be at the heart of everything.
Well, it should. And, as we're going back, just real quick, I know that we're past the Oscars and all of that. Any thoughts on that? Was the award show what you expected it to be? Any surprises?
Well, I think the only two sure things going into that night was K-pop Demon Hunters. And I love the K-pop Demon Hunters. It's just it's on streaming on Netflix. It's a worldwide phenomenon. The music is so catchy. Try getting it out of your head. It's just impossible. And then it's this really great story about female friendship and sisterhood and carving your own identity. And so, plus the anime, it's one of the great anime films. But it's really, what I liked about the Oscars was they got to perform, which was great. But it had a very international feel on Sunday night. I felt like different cultures were represented, and that was really nice to see, this talent represented. But and then the other sure thing was Jessie Buckley as Best Actress for Hamnet. That movie is now streaming on Peacock, and it is based on William Shakespeare's real life. And he and his wife lost a son, but this is a fictional account of that and how he was inspired to write Hamlet. Wow. Now, her performance is just incredible. And I don't really say amazing a lot because I think it's overused, but she gave one of the all-time great performances. And she's the first Irish actor to win.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, how about that? But she's a good actress. If you've seen her in anything, she just is just wonderful. So I was happy. And then it was going to be a big battle between Sinners and One Battle After Another. Have you seen those? I have.
I keep, it's on my list, and Jackie keeps yelling at me at home because we got to make time for them,
Yeah. Well, I understand that. Well, they both had, Sinners broke records with 16 nominations, and then One Battle After Another had like 14 or 15. But Paul Thomas Anderson, the director of One Battle After Another, he's made 11 films. He is what they call in the biz an auteur because he's got a specific point of view, and guys love his movies. And this one had a lot of energy to it. It was like very feverish dream. But what I liked about it was the daddy-daughter story. That was my favorite aspect. But I do think that cast was incredible. And don't you think Benicio del Toro might be the coolest guy on the planet?
Yeah, there are people that have that vibe to them, and it's walk into a desert and cool it off by 10 degrees,
I know. And then Leonardo DiCaprio, he hasn't been that good in years, I think. I mean, it was just really electric. And it's just about these past revolutionaries, and the women are great in it. And so Sean Penn won his 3rd Oscar, and he wasn't there because he was over in Ukraine. But it's really hard to win 3. Mm-hmm. So I was a little surprised about that, but he did give probably the best performance.
I don't know if it was as good as Jess Piccoli, though. I don't know if he can ever top.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, I know. Well, he's just remarkable. Like in Mystic River.
Oh yeah.
And then in when he won for Milk, but then when he played the mentally challenged guy that was raising the daughter, I Am Sam.
Oh yeah.
And
Dead Man Walking was good too. That he was in. I thought that was a great movie.
Oh, he was. He's just all in. You know, he just is one of those actors who just goes for it. And he played in his early days, he played Christopher Walken's son in this movie called At Close Range. And I think that was when he was married to Madonna, and she had that very big hit from that movie, that song, and I can't remember it now, but that was very chilling. Anyway, he's just great. And so he just, I guess decided that he didn't need to be there. But one of my favorite wins of the night was Michael B. Jordan. He is just a wonderful actor and so humble and grateful. And he played identical twins in Sinners. Now, Sinners and One Battle After Another are both on HBO Max streaming, so people can see them. And I know some people have a lot of problem figuring out Sinners because it's a vampire movie, but it's not really a vampire movie, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's about black people in the Jim Crow South, and it's about oppression, but it also has Irish people and Native Americans and Asian people all marginalized and oppressed, and it's about that period. And so it's the storytelling is as vampires. So some people don't understand it, and I get that. It took me 2 viewings to figure it out.
I get that.
So the acting in it is really sparkling. And I mean, he plays identical twins, and you can tell the difference between them. So I thought that was difficult. I thought that was a great win, but he's been acting since he was a little kid. Like he was on The Wire, if anybody remembers that. So a lot of people remember him, as a youngster. But he and his Ryan Coogler, they have made the Creed movies together because that's when people first noticed him, in the Creed movies. And then Ryan Coogler also made Black Panther movies. So he's a visionary director. And so he and Paul Anderson both won for screenplay. So that was good. And I think if you watch the telecast, one of the best things about it was the memorial section, the in memoriam. And when they had all these actors from Rob Reiner movies come out. Oh, that was nice. I did see that on YouTube. That was nice. That was really nice. And then Barbra Streisand did a tribute for Robert Redford. And then Rachel McAdams did a tribute to Diane Keaton, and they were in the movie The Family Stone together. And those were beautiful tributes. I thought that was probably one of the best memorials that I've ever seen. I thought the in memoriam was very good too, and seeing that with Billy Crystal was really touching for sure. Oh, yeah, because it's still so tragic. And then apparently they asked 2 people from each cast to represent the film. And that's why you only saw so many people. Like you didn't see Tom Cruise for a few good men. And, but I thought it was really well represented who was there. His movies are now being made available streaming, and so you can watch them again. Well, he has just so many great ones. And, his role still as Jordan Belfort's dad in Wolf of Wall Street was fantastic, too. I thought that was under-recognized. He was great in a Wolf of Wall Street whenever he played Jordan Belfort's dad. Oh, yeah, yeah. And so it's just all those little tiny all those little tiny things he did,
Well, and Lynn, as we go forward here, one thing I wanted to ask you about, how do you get a tie in the Oscars? I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, well, because I'm old, I remember when Katharine Hepburn and Barbra Streisand tied for Best Actress in 1969. So or 68.
That's a more serious tie.
Yeah, that was the last tie. But yeah, you can. It's very rare.
Wow.
But you can, and so that was interesting.
Well. And that's what I was just kind of curious about, just to kind of, circle back to the Oscars, is that was the one headline I saw, and how do you do that? And, Lynn, real quick, too, it's really sad to hear, Chuck Norris passed away. And you said there's a lot of people weighing in on that as well right now.
Well, there's so many people that are living to their 80s and 90s, but we've lost quite a number of greats.
Yeah,
I mean, Robert Duvall last year, and then some people were asking me why Gene Hackman wasn't included, but he was last year. Oh. He died right before last year. So. But there's so many greats. It's really remarkable.
Well, it is. And, and by the way, Secondhand Lion was a great movie. I think that is still an underrated movie.
Oh, yeah.
Or Second Choice Lions. Is that what that was with Robert Duvall? And they're on the farm and the kid, is there and visits grandparents or visits grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's what was I going to say? That I'm going to look that up really fast. The last one. Well, he's done so many great, and I did not know. I knew he went to Principia College in over in Illinois, in your territory.
Yeah, but I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then the fact that he went to high school in St. Louis, I didn't know that. So his dad was in the military. Have you ever seen The Great Santini? Oh man, is he good in that? He
just a fantastic, performer and actor, and that's where you really hit it on the head, Lynn. I mean, we're losing a lot of really just powerhouses.
We are, but I just think that's, it's a fact of life, but the fact that they live so long and, have contributed so much to our pop culture. Right. I mean, that Colonel that he played in Apocalypse Now, it is Secondhand Lions. It's a great movie. Yeah, somebody told me, I haven't seen the Kevin Costner Western Open Range, but everybody talks about his performance in that too. I'll be darned. Well, and Lynn, before I let you go, what are you looking? I know you mentioned one movie, and you mentioned one before when we were getting started about the spring. Is there anything else that's kind of on the horizon that you think that we should kind of keep our eyes and ears out for? I think The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan's going to be tremendous. That is the Matt Damon film that comes out this summer. And then they just released the trailer to Dune 3. If anybody I love the Dune saga. That's great. That's making a lot of money. Yeah. Oh, and this one, they need, they need that. But I think there's something for everybody. They're recognizing that it needs to be, movies to get people to the theater needs to be an event, needs to be an experience, because else we can just sit home. Right. Well, that's so true. With all the streaming services right now. And to me, there's we were talking about Paradise, and I love The Pit. I just can't express enough how much that show is so phenomenal, really. And, we can sit home and watch quality television. So what is going to get us out to the theater? So we need to have some, biggies. Anything you looking forward to? I haven't really been keeping my head out for much. We've been kind of so focused on just getting to, April and all that fun stuff, Lynn. That's why I thought, I'm going to call Lynn, because I really did not pay as close of attention as I should. Now, a silly one that I'm excited about is the new Scary Movie. And I know that that's going to be one that everyone's like, what, really? Out of all the movies that are going on, this is one that you've been looking. I don't know why. It's just my childhood coming back to me. Oh, well, it looks hilarious. And also, we need, if we ever needed a laugh
right
in this day and age, we need it now.
That's what I was going to ask you. Hey, did you see the James Garfield series on Netflix? I thought that was pretty darn good.
Yes. Michael Shannon is
Fantastic.
Always good. And Matthew McFadden is wonderful. And so I think that you cannot go wrong with those. And it was nice because it was short,
right?
But it was full of information. I love when something teaches me things I don't know.
Well, and that too. And I also thought it was really fascinating that they could make, as short of a presidency as that was, so interesting in the episodes they had, because, within the context of the events that happened, I thought they did a great job. I really did. It was really good.
Oh yeah. Well, the limited series are just jam packed with prestige A-list stars all the time now. Is it just because Netflix and all those streaming services or that produce their own stuff are getting so big? Is that what it is? They can just afford it? I guess. And now, remember when cable first came out, they were promised, no commercials, and then look at that. And then now streaming, everybody's going to the streaming services, and then they promise, and now we're watching commercials. Did you see the refrigerator, Lynn? The $3,000 refrigerator? No. It has a TV on it on one side of the screen. So you spend the $2,500 or $3,500, and then they play ads on it. Oh no. And they couldn't turn the ads off. The people that bought these refrigerators, there was no setting on them to turn ads off. So they bought this refrigerator and are still having to watch ads. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, it's a whole new world now, and every day I'm just I'm amazed, but I still can learn new things. Well, you have a 16-month-old, so I know she's too young for Zootopia 2, but I wanted to mention that was fantastic. I loved it. I loved the first one. That was one of my favorite animated movies, and I don't know why it hit me, but the second one was great. Oh, I know. All those voices, like Andy Samberg. I didn't even know he was in it, but all these great voices were in that. But the Zootopia, when the first movie came out in 2016, it won the Oscar. And I was fortunate to interview the two directors, and one of them had worked on The Simpsons, and the other one, he went on to win an Oscar for Encanto. And so he's Byron Howard. He's a genius. And Rich Moore, they did so much research on all these animals, and it was so clever. And then Jason Bateman, he's another one. He just can immerse himself in these characters, and so he was really funny as Nick Wilde, that sly fox. And then Idris Elba is the police chief, and then Jennifer Goodwin is so good as Judy Hopps. And just how the population of Zootopia, where the rabbits live, it just keeps, exploding with all these little sly jokes. And that's what I love about the Zootopia world. And then this one, it got a story. I will say I think for the littles, it's probably a little bit more complicated, but it's really good for adults because it's more of a mystery that's involved with the snake population, which I thought was really good. And if you distill it down to, mistreatment of others, right? Being a fear of others. But didn't you love Patrick Warburton as the mayor, the horse that was in movies? Oh yeah, that was great. It was great. I know, and he had a movie like when they were going Mayor so and so, star of Say Nay, and it's like, oh my God, every little thing was a little joke.
Well, and I just thought it was so good. You know, every minute, and I felt like the movie was fast too. I hate when an animated movie takes forever to get into, but when I just felt like with this one, it was just boom, 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 boom. You know.
Oh, I know. Well, that's one of my things. It's now some of these movies are so loud and colorful, and it's like on this warp speed. You know, you don't know. Oh, The Bad Guys 2. I highly recommend Bad Guys 2. It's going to be coming out on streaming very soon. And Sam Rockwell plays the leader of the gang. And I love Sam Rockwell. So if you have littles and you stay home, that's a good one. If you haven't seen Bad Guys 1, I think this one is better. But they're both really, really, really good.
Fantastic.
So,
well, how's life at PopLifeSTL?
Well, we just announced the Fox theater season, Fabulous Fox, and that's coming up. And then everybody's excited about the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child play that's coming to St. Louis next week. So if everybody likes Harry Potter, I think the tickets are selling really, really well.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway, it's always fun to talk to you, CJ, and I will be seeing you soon.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see you, Lynn. Seriously, and I just want to thank you always for calling in. And whenever I ask if you have some time, it means a lot.
Okay, well, thank you, and anytime. It's always fun to talk to you.
We'll link this in a write-up on RiverBender.com. You can find out more by going to PopLifeSTL.com and seeing what Lynn and the team are up to. And you can also listen to Lynn in about a half hour on the Big 550.
Yes, I'll be talking about all the new movies and what's on streaming right now.
Nice, have fun.
Thank you. You take care.
We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show next.